Okay guys, as you can see, the tool truck is back on the air jack. We got the ass end off the ground. And once again, round 3 with my arch nemesis, this damn drive shaft. So this, if in a previous video, you can find it in the playlist a couple of videos back, or in the tool truck playlist. So when I put the drive shaft on, I changed one U-joint and spun everything, checked everything, shook everything, and it looked good. So we had a little bit of a fight getting it under the truck and getting it back on. And then after a quick test drive, maybe 10 miles, this thing was making more noise than a Jake brake. So I limped it home, got under there, and the hanger bearing was hot, like just, you know, hot to the touch. So pulled it down. Y'all can see in the video the hanger bearing was destroyed. The bearing was good, but the rubber was gone. So we dropped it. Again, I'm just assuming that it was an older, don't give me a thing about assuming, I understand that. But my theory was that the hanger bearing, you know, it was the one that came with the truck when I ran across it. So I'm assuming, again, don't hit me on the assuming, I know, but assuming on the hanger bearing that it was good, so which it probably was. But we're going to get into this because I have a new theory about why this thing ate a second hanger bearing in almost exactly the same amount of miles, because it was almost the same route that I drove, and we ate up another one. So we're going to get into it and see what it is and see if my theory is correct. Alright, well, I didn't show you all the drive shaft pulling. I had to turn some tunes up because I was not in the mood for that. But as you can see, it's shoved forward, and this rubber is pulled to the back. Now, some of this could have been from me getting it off, but this thing was just about to come apart. As you can see right here, I'm sorry to be flipping the camera so fast. All of this is shredded. So what I'm thinking is, this blue crap that they put on here might be for assembly, or I don't know, but you know, this thing sat for a little while before we got it back on the road, and I assume that because this slip yoke doesn't have a grease zerk, and I mean, it looks pretty clean, and I mean, I cleaned it and wire brushed it and put a light coat of oil on it, you know, like air tool oil or something, because I didn't want to put grease and, you know, create a suction or pressure situation here. But I wanted to, you know, kind of make it want to slide in and out. But what I had to do is slide this over here and put the U-joint by the edge of the table and use the pry bar to pry off the table and make the slip yoke unslip. And in my mind, that should just be able to pull off by hand. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to clean and shine this up a little bit and make sure that we can put this on and slide it by hand. Now, with regards to this bearing, I'm going to say I'm calling this a wee messed up. And the reason being is, y'all watched me beat this thing on and off twice in 2 different videos. And again, I'm just thinking that it's the, you know, it's the suction or the pressure created by a real tight fit right here. And I just got to coax it in with the dead blow hammer. But y'all watched me do this twice and nobody said nothing. So my official position is, should this work, it's a wee bearing, and we are responsible for it. So anyhow, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right, so we're gonna pull this bearing off and address this and get that slip yoke to actually do some slipping. And once we got that done and a new bearing on, we're going to go back in with it and we'll see if that does. See, maybe, you know, it's just nice if you can trust your vehicle to go more than 10 miles. I mean, I know it's a Ford and sometimes that may be asking a lot, but we do what we can. So let me get on this and see what we can come up with. Alright, we're going to get that off. We're gonna pull this off and clean all this shredded rubber up, which we got it before it got as nasty as the other one. I'm gonna pull that off, and what I'm gonna do is wire wheel all this blue crap off and see if that helps us out. All right, let's set up this bearing puller. You get on there. I don't know why that made in China crap likes to go to the side like that. Alright, now we got this clean. I'm sure some of y'all are going to tear me up in the comments about getting this off, and I'm sure there's a reason for it. I wouldn't mind knowing the reason for it, but bottom line is, if I can't take a truck on a 10-mile test drive without it eating the hanger bearing, then something's got to happen. So that's what we're doing, and I'm pretty sure that's what's eating my hanger bearing is the the slippage on here. So what I'm doing, the slickest stuff I got is Lucas Assembly Lube. And I know that's a little thick, but we're going to take a lot of this off. So we're going to lube this up. Now for the record on this one, I'm not saying this is how you do it. I'm saying this is how I do it. Because again, you know, I can't make 10 miles without the hanger bearing going to hell. So this is my solution. Not saying it's the right one, and I'm not saying y'all ought to do it. Use your judgment. But that's what I'm doing. We're gonna give it a try, and if that doesn't work, we'll get on to something else. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna get the other piece and we're gonna stab it and see if everything. Let me get my lineup marks. All right, I got my lineup marks on the top. I'm gonna get the drive shaft. We're gonna see if it fits. Let's check us out here and see what we got. So alright, that looks like that's gonna work. And it's either gonna, hopefully it ain't too loose, but I mean, too tight is destroying hanger bearings, so that ain't doing me any good. We can't figure out how to get a hanger bearing to stay on here. So, and I didn't want to take part of that Teflon or whatever that crap is off of there. So we're going to try that and see. And if that doesn't work, we'll talk to a driveline guy. I know I've asked some people about this before at the driveline shop, and I do not remember what the consensus was. So this totally may be screwing the pooch and creating another problem. I do not know. So again, I ain't recommended, but this ain't cutting it neither. So we got to do something. I mean, perfectly good bearing, the rubber shot. So got to figure out something. We're going to try this. That's what they look like new. It's a tad bit better than the one that came off. So we're going to get her kind of lined up, centered there. This might look like standard PVC, but as you can see, it's a hanger bearing driving tool. So we go by what we decide to call it, and it fits right in there and gets on the race. So that's what we need. And we just show her a little love. Alrighty. Well, we're gonna stab it back on, see what happens. One last time for the keyboard warriors. Like I said, we can't keep this on here, so we're gonna try this. If it creates a rattle or a noise, we'll have to deal with it then. But it can't make more than 10 miles, so y'all be gentle in the comments. I'm not gonna get back under the truck and show you guys how to install this. You know, we're gonna stick it on, re-Loctite and torque or U-joints, buzz the hanger bearing supports in, and we're gonna give her a test drive and see if this makes any difference. Like I said, we'll see. I'll keep y'all posted. Well guys, we made it on a little out of town run, not too far. Got a couple of boxes for an upcoming project. You'll be seeing that pretty soon. But it looks like we made it there, and more importantly, we made it back and did not destroy a hanger bearing. So I had no noises, no vibrations, no weirdness from the slip yoke issue. So I think that's done, and we're going to call that good for now. And of course, we got some more miles to chalk up with this old beast a little later, so we'll get a little bit more on it. But for right now, it's being good, and I think our hanger bearing issue's fixed. We'll get into these a little later. That's for an upcoming project. But for now, hanger bearing is done, hopefully for the last time. Appreciate you guys watching. Sorry to bother you with the hanger bearing twice, but you know what? Sometimes you got to rat yourself out, and I should have caught that ahead of time, and I didn't. And sometimes you got to pay the piper, sometimes you got to pay him twice. So anyway, hope you guys got something out of it. Pay attention to that when you're working on your drive shaft, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.